Hello everyone, I'm Sean, and today I'll be showing you how to use the Python package Twython for Python 3 to search for tweets on Twitter. So, firstly, you need to sign into your Twitter account, make sure your mobile phone number is verified, and then you want to go to the link I've provided below, apps.twitter.com. So, once you reach this page, you'll see Twitter apps and create a new app. And if you don't have any apps here, it'll say right in the middle, create an app. You want to click create an app, and it'll ask you to fill out a name, a description, and a website. So these values don't mean anything. If you were to create a real application, you want to give something with real value, but right now you can put just basically anything you want, and Twitter won't check it. And you just click yes, I have read and agreed to the agreement, and you click create your Twitter application. So once you've done that, it will have created this Twitter app, and it'll bring you to the main page for that application. And there's 4 tabs here at the top. The one we're going to be interested in is the key and access tokens. You click that, and it'll bring you to this page where it has a number of rows, but the 2 that we're interested in are the consumer key and the consumer secret. These 2 values are essentially like a password for our application. It's going to be what we send to Twitter so they can verify who we are when we're talking to them from our Python script that we're going to be writing in a little bit. So once you have these values down, just keep them on hand. We're going to need them in a little bit. You want to open up a terminal, and right now we're going to be installing the Twython package. This is a Python package developed by Twitter, which allows us to, from a Python script, talk to Twitter. It makes it very simple, and there's features listed here, how to install it, which is what I'm going to go through with you, and the documentation. And this documentation is another link I've provided below in the description, which is this page. You scroll down a little bit, you'll see usage, and it'll go over in fairly deep, good amount of depth, how to install it, how to start out with it, basic usage, advanced usage, a bunch of stuff. It's pretty comprehensive, and so if you're looking to use Twitter for any sort of application, I would recommend going through these documentation. So we're going to go back to our Twython API tutorial, or whatever you named it, your application, and just keep these 2 keys on hand. And now open up a terminal, and we're going to install the Twython package now. So we're going to write in the terminal pip install Twython. So once you hit enter, it's going to install everything, and it's going to install the dependencies for it, and after that it's done. You have Twython. You have the Twitter API Python package. If you get an error with this though for permissions, what you want to do is write sudo pip install Python, or sorry, not Python, Twython. Sudo pip install Twython, and that'll override any permissions error you have. This isn't the best practice, so don't get into the habit of this, but for the sake of this tutorial, it'll get past that permission error. So once you have that, you need to now create a new text file and open it up in any sort of editor, Vim, Emacs, Sublime, Notepad++, any of these will work. It just needs to be able to write Python, which is basically any text editor. So I'm going to create a new file called tweets.py, and I'm going to open it up in Vim. And then inside of this Vim, inside of this new text file that I've created, we're going to first import a few modules. So we're going to import, from the Twython package that we just installed, which is actually a lowercase t, Twython, we're going to import Twython with a capital T and Twython error, both with capital T, capital E. The first one is a class, so we're importing a class that allows us to basically make an instance of a class, which is what we use to talk to Twitter. And then Twython error is a Python exception class that basically allows us to interpret and understand any sort of errors we get back from the Twitter API. That's it. That's all we need to import. So now we can create a new connection to Twitter through the Twython class that we've just imported. I'm going to name it T. So T is equal to Twython and then parentheses. So what we're doing is make an instance of a class. We're going to pass 2 parameters. The first one is our consumer key, and so I'm going to copy and paste this into this string here. So it's just a string containing our consumer key, and then separated by a comma, we need to pass in our consumer secret. And there we go. We now have an active connection to the Twitter API. And so what we can do now is say something like results. So these are our search results. Results is equal to t.search, and then we need to provide the values that we want to search with. So our query, which is basically if you're on Twitter and you were searching something, the text that you type in is your query. So its name here is Q. So we're going to say Q is equal to some string, and so for this I'm going to say hashtag Python. Hashtag Python. And then we need to provide a count of how many we want. So we're going to say count is equal to 3. Just a modest amount. Just 3 tweets. So that's going to do the actual searching, and it's going to return back to us a very big list, a lot of information, which we need to kind of sort through a little bit. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort out all of the tweets. In the Twython, or the Twitter API, they're called statuses. And so what we need to do is say all tweets is equal to results statuses, just like I've done here. Results is a dictionary, and so what we're doing here is accessing the key statuses from the dictionary called results. And then we're storing that in a variable called all tweets. And so now all tweets is just a list of all the tweets that we have. And so what we can do is use a for loop to iterate over all of the tweets and print out the text from them. So what we can say is for tweet in all tweets, print tweet, and then tweet is another dictionary, and so we're going to say we want to access the text key inside of the tweet dictionary. And that should work. That should be actually everything we need to search for 3 tweets, the most recent tweets on Twitter with the hashtag Python somewhere within the tweet. And so I'm going to write and quit out of Vim, and then I'm going to run the file by saying Python tweets, and we clear the screen first. Python tweets. There we go. There's the 3 different tweets. Python weekly. It has a link here, issue 258. This looks like a magazine or something, or a blog. It says hashtag Python, Django, Flask, Watson, TensorFlow, JIT, Gradle, Pebble. I got another tweet here, and I think there was another tweet somewhere. Let's increase it a little bit. So what I'm going to do is say instead of for hashtag Python, I'm going to do something a little bit more complicated. I'm going to say hashtag Cali, as in California, hashtag Cali. I'm going to say I want the count to be, say, 5, and then I'm going to give it a geocode. So the geocode will actually let me search by GPS coordinate. So this GPS coordinate is going to be 37.3875, comma, negative 122.0575, and then comma 50 mi, or miles. This is all in one string, separated by commas, but there's no spaces after the commas. And then the last thing at the end of the string is what kind of units you want the radius to be in. And so the radius is basically from that GPS coordinate that you gave it, how far away in a circle, I think it's just the radius of that circle around that GPS coordinate, how far away you want to restrict the tweets that you find in. And so what this GPS coordinate is basically right in the center of Silicon Valley, and it's given basically a 50-mile radius, and I'm searching for anyone who tweeted from within that radius the tweet containing the words hashtag CLAI, Cali. And I want 5 of them. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write and quit this. I don't need to change anything else. I'm going to say python tweets.py, and maybe there we go. Cool, it actually worked. So happy 100 years to National Park Services. A gorgeous sunset over the bay at China Camp State Park, California. Hashtag Cali. Cali writers. We know drainage. And some music producer. So, see, we were able to search Twitter tweets basically really easy. And how many lines? 11 lines, 11 lines, including some spacing for neatness. And some other things to make it look nicer. But in a very short amount of time and a very short amount of code, we were able to search the Twitter API for specific tweets. So, okay, if you have any more questions, leave a comment down below in the comment section, and I'll gladly answer it. And if you have any other ideas for a tutorial you'd like, or just some sort of technology or API that you're not sure about how to use, then leave a comment below, and I'll try and make a video on it and see if I can help make things clear. And that's what I hope I did in this video. So thank you for watching, and I guess I'll see you in the next one.